Perfect.
Yo, what it do, everybody? It's your man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels. Y'all already know what it is. Welcome back, everyone, to the 11:30 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. What's good, everybody doing out there on another beautiful episode of Talk Pro Wrestling? Good morning, good night, good afternoon to all my listeners all across the world, wherever you may be at. Thank you guys for tuning back in to the podcast. Whether you're watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, make sure you subscribe. And if you're new to the 11:30 podcast, make sure you subscribe to the 11:30 podcast on YouTube, like, leave a comment, and do all that great stuff. And don't forget to follow the 11:30 podcast on all social media platforms. But you guys, like I said, man, it's Friday, man. Talk Pro Wrestling is here. I got an amazing guest that's going to be joining me this week. My guy Jay. Shout out Helen from the Honestly Helen podcast, who I had on my podcast numerous of times on the main show on EB Radio, and I've been a guest on hers. So we topping it up, networking. Everything is, a domino effect, as I always said on the podcast. But I got my awesome guest Jay. He's an independent wrestler and he's a referee. He's going to be joining me here on the podcast this week, chopping it up, man, all things wrestling. But before we do, shout out to Warren Marlowe and Blackheart, the commission, who was on last week's show. Speaking of the show, we're going to get into it. Jay, what's going on, my guy?
Hello, sir. Hello. Thank you for the opportunity to be on your show. And thank you for everything, pretty much. Can't thank you enough, sir. And shout out to Helen, because I heard you say
Yeah. Helen was real dope. We got connected because, I'm on EB Radio. She was coming in, and the president of EB Radio was like, man, just introduce her, give her a vibe, and brought her on my show. So she's going to guest numerous of times. And I heard you on her, I think it was the season premiere of her latest season. You were on, and it was a really dope story of you and everything, man. So I appreciate you taking the invite and being here on the 11:30 podcast. How life treat you?
All good. I can't even complain, to be honest with you. I'm just humbled to even still be walking, still breathing, everything like that.
Okay. Something was going a little bit wrong with you for a moment.
Yeah. Yesterday had a little health scare. Apparently I had a mini heart attack and I didn't even know it during the time period. I just felt like weak, fatigue, and out of breath. And then people at my job was real concerned about me, so they ended up calling the ambulance for me. And when I was in the back of the ambulance, that's exactly what they said I had. I had a minor heart attack. So they ran a whole bunch of tests on me and I got released today.
Oh man. Like prayers go out to you, man. And hopefully, you get really well and
Thank
stuff. I hope you ain't stressing or worried about too much right now.
Try my best not to.
Okay.
Hey, I'm trying my best not to.
Yeah. And this time this time and the day and age we live in, we try not to stress about so much though. But hey, it's life, man. It's life. But once again, Jay, man, I appreciate you joining me on Talk Pro Wrestling. For my listeners and viewers is not familiar with you, telling them something about you, man.
My name is Jay Smith. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida, West Side, Best Side. I started training for wrestling back in 2018, January of 2018, and then I kind of lost my job, so I had to stop doing it for like a little time period. And then on, I want to say August 2019, that's when I started back training and everything. And I went so hard that I ended up going to the hospital because of that.
Oh,
it was like one of my favorite like injuries, even though that sounds kind of ironic. Like, how can you have a favorite injury?
Okay.
It's the fact that I got injured just from something I really love to do, which is like, wrestle. And like that's something I always wanted to do when I was younger. But I've been training ever since then. And then I had got the opportunity to start refereeing matches. And I refereed my first match back in December of 2019. Okay. And ever since then, I just been going hard. For that particular promotion that I was refereeing for, I refereed 3 events by myself, like single-handedly. Like there was no other referee available, so I was the only one who did it.
Hey, that's what's up.
And it just seemed like everything just been going up for me ever since, for my wrestling career, because I got discovered by this one promotion that I'm currently signed with, which is EGCW. It's an independent wrestling promotion out there in Deltona. And I've been going so hard with them that the owner of the business ended up coming to me, pulling me to the side. He was like, "Hey, Jay, I see you've been putting in a lot of work, so we want to move you on to that next step." So eventually, I'm going to start having matches pretty soon.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. You said you got injured doing something you love. What you hurt?
Yeah.
What you injured?
All right. So we was working out. We had to do like these little drills, and they just pushed everybody to their limits. Like I really felt like I was in WWE at this time period. Like I was going through like a 30-minute Iron Man match. That's exactly what it felt like.
Okay.
And it's pretty much I just went so hard that I can't even pronounce what I had got. It's like rubberhodosis. I'm probably saying it wrong, but if you look it up, that's like what I had. It's pretty much when your muscle fiber leaks into your bloodstream and goes into
Okay.
your kidneys, and that's exactly what happened to me. Like muscle fiber in my thighs end up leaking into my bloodstream, got into my kidneys, and like it was painful for me to even walk. So if I didn't go to the doctors in time, I wouldn't be here to be telling you this story.
Oh man. Oh man. So you was doing something you really love to do without you was just putting all the sacrifices out there, huh?
Pretty much, because I mean that's my dream is to be a WWE or like wrestler or even just just wrestling in general. I'm not even
Okay.
gonna say WWE because there's other promotions out there that like might value me for real.
Okay. Cool. How long you been a fan? Was it something that you just sprouted onto? But like you said, it's something you always loved as a little kid, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like ever since I was younger, I want to say probably the age of 5 because I think that's when my dad like introduced me to WWE. And during the time period, the only promotion that was around was WWF, WCW, and ECW.
Yeah.
That's the only ones that was around during the time period. But WWE just been rocking ever since the like I think it was probably the 80s. WWE been rocking around,
Yeah,
and
man.
yeah. So it just started when I was younger, honestly.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. That's kind of like how the passion for me for wrestling started since I was young, man. I grew up in the Attitude Era. I always tell
Right?
everybody late 90-ish, late 98 or late 99. I definitely remember coming into wrestling because I remember the whole Chris Jericho countdown from
Yeah.
him when he was leaving from WCW, but the whole Millennium countdown and the whole thing that was going on
All
in the
that.
world with the whole
Yeah.
Y2K stuff. So yeah, like definitely around that moment, but man, my guy at that point was The Rock. Like nobody could not tell me nothing else about like, man, I'm telling you, like WrestleMania 2000 video games, like I
Oh
will
yeah.
always pick The Rock. Like, and people would tell me, man, if you pick The Rock one more time, he's going to disappear. And I was
Oh.
like, know your role, man. Like for real, man.
Shut your
Like,
mouth.
yeah, exactly. Like,
Now I got one up you. What about on WWF No Mercy?
oh man,
On
like
that on the Nintendo classic.
that's like the classic video game
Classic.
of it all though. I mean, man, I love that. I love that one though. No Mercy, definitely like I said, WrestleMania 2000 and all the
Hmm.
SmackDown ones. These majority of them like in the beginning of the era when it was early 2000s though. Definitely though.
Like on
Who's
the
your
PlayStation.
yeah, definitely.
Those ones, yeah.
Who's your favorite? Who was your favorite guy watching?
Like growing up was.
Yeah.
Um I say for the Attitude Era, probably Stone Cold just because his attitude, and then like towards like that teenage into adulthood, I'll say CM Punk.
Okay. Well, I see him pump.
CM Punk got to. Why CM
Okay.
Punk?
Yeah.
Because I mean, he got that Stone Cold attitude. Like he just don't care. Like he just gonna say whatever he feels, and like that's the type of character I like as well. I could throw in Randy Orton too. Like if we talk about like current favorite ones, Randy Orton's in there, CM Punk's in there, John Cena, and that's kind of who I Shinsuke Nakamura.
Okay.
That's who I kind of throw into my little move sets or my whole style whenever I was about to start wrestling.
Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. So are you fond of CM Punk right now with him in All Elite Wrestling?
I haven't really been watching All Elite as
Hmm.
much. Like I'll try to catch every once in a while a show. I think they having a show coming here pretty soon. I might go to it. But I haven't really been watching it for real. I need to though, just to see exactly what they got going on.
Okay. Just not a fan, or you just a WWE guy?
I mean, I'm WWE, but at the same time, I do want to venture out just to see what else is out there. It's
Okay.
just I don't know. Sometimes I don't be catching it, but I have seen people who I've trained with in ref matches for. They've been on AEW,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
cool experience.
Yeah, man. It's real cool, man. What they doing? I think a couple of days ago they were in Jacksonville for the go home show to Revolution for the pay per view or whatnot. But
Mhm.
yeah, man. CM Punk's last year, I think he nominated for like a award right now. What's going on with AEW? But far as CM Punk when he returned last year, I guess that was like one of the biggest moment in wrestling history. I talked about it
Biggest
on a
moment.
yeah, like one of the
Yes.
biggest moments. I talked about it on the podcast with my guys commission. Like, I mean, yes, it's not about the money in wrestling, and obviously with CM Punk, it wasn't necessarily about the money. It was just being somewhere that he could be somewhere happy. And if All Elite Wrestling was not around,
Exactly.
I feel like he would have came back to WWE one way or another. Though I mean, it would have took some time, but they always say people come back though. So that though.
Give or take.
Yeah, give or take, give or take, give or take though.
Yeah.
So you got in. So now you're in the wrestling business though. So which one you prefer now? Do you prefer being a wrestler, or you like refereeing though? Like any preference?
I'd rather be a wrestler because that's what I started out to train for. Like no disrespect to my previous trainer, but like that's not what I signed up for. That's not what I gave you $200 for like a month to just
Hmm.
referee. Like I signed up just to be a wrestler.
Okay.
And then it's like now he got people, I don't mean to bad talk him, but he got people who like only been training for like I think 3 months and they already in the ring when I've been doing it for like longer than that time period. So I should already been wrestling. But I ain't hating on it. Everybody got their times and mine's coming soon.
Yeah, the politics in wrestling is something else. It really
It
is.
is.
Yeah, yeah. But you're a black man in wrestling, and with wrestling been changing throughout the last year or two, especially with everything going in the world. How you feel about black men and women in wrestling, and you feel like it's coming a long way, and the future holds for black wrestling.
It is coming, like, because as you see, WWE finally got their first black champion, first black WWE champion with Kofi Kingston. Everybody want to say The Rock is the first one, but Rock don't really represent his black side unless he's talking about his dad. He mainly represent his Samoan side. Like that's all you really like. You think about The Rock, that's all he really talks about. He be like, oh yeah, my grandfather was high chief. Like my mom was like blase blase. He only mainly talk about his Samoan side when like he's in the wrestling business, but he don't bring up his black side, his dad's side when it's like convenient, I guess, when it's just convenient. So in my eyes, the very first WWE champion who was black was Kofi Kingston. Then it was Big E, and then Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. Everybody might got their own opinions, but that's personally my opinion.
Okay. Okay. Did you catch the sit down interview with all three of them, the latest black WWE champions in professional wrestling, or at least in WWE?
No, what was that? The big three or the table of three thing? Was it that?
It was not a table for three, but it was something I think they put on YouTube or such, where the current era of black WWE champions were it was Kofi Kingston, Bobby Lashley, and Big E, just talking about how they came a long way, and how African Americans come a long way in the wrestling business. And I thought that was dope and stuff like that. Any challenges you face as being a black wrestler in the wrestling business?
Um, I wouldn't say being black, but more of like my size. Cause like if you really see me in person, people like, oh, you're so short, you're so skinny, you can't really be a wrestler. But it's like you got Rey Mysterio, and I'm like taller than Rey Mysterio for real. Like I seen Rey Mysterio in person. Like I'm taller than him. Like probably without my shoes on, I'm taller than Rey Mysterio. And the fact that Rey Mysterio is like a legend, he's doing all this, the smallest big man in the ring, like what's
Yeah.
stopping me from doing the exact same thing or having that same moniker?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. So your sides, is that why they put you as a referee?
Um, I mainly would say just my training
Okay.
experience, because I barely got a little bit of training experience, but it's like I got enough to like I can go at least a 5 minute match for real. Like I'm confident in myself that I can go 5 minutes,
Okay. Okay.
maybe even
Cool.
10.
I dig it, man. I definitely dig it. But you guys, man, we're gonna move on here on a Talk Pro Wrestling. Like I was saying earlier, I heard you on the Helen podcast, and you was
Mhm.
definitely talking about how at a certain point, you were just feeling, doubtful and unworthy in this. Um, is everything, going fine, and how is everything?
For that particular episode, like the what was that season 3 episode 1? Shout out to Helen. Honestly, Helen podcast. I love her so much. I keep coming in there every time I see her. I even talk to her because I'm so proud of her for when she came. But I've just been dealing with anxiety pretty much like for the past, I want to say the year maybe. Just been dealing with severe anxiety, and I'm trying to find different ways to cope with it. Instead of saying I'm battling it, I'm coping with it. I'm dealing with it, trying to overcome it in a sense. So that's the main thing I'm focused on is working on that. That's what kind of sent me to the hospital just because I've been stressing and having anxiety.
Oh,
So,
okay.
like I said, I've just been trying to work on it, trying to find different ways to cope.
Do you find yourself in a certain moment, where it's extreme, or that the anxiety kick in?
Um, when I'm in
Or
crowded places or if I'm like driving like by myself, like if I'm stuck at a red light for too long, I start feeling like I'm trapped.
okay, okay,
So
so
like I said, I'm trying to overcome it.
okay, yeah, man. Like I was listening to that episode and I was just thinking how at times me battling, anxiety and just
Hmm.
dealing with just certain stuff within my life because dealing, being in the wheelchair and stuff. So we as black brothers, don't get the full opportunity or the opportunity enough to express ourselves, and
Exactly.
when we do, we get looked at less of
Weak.
or weak. There you go. Stole the words right out my mouth. You just get looked at as weak. So I don't want you to think that you are weak. I don't want you to think yourself is weak for feeling the way you feel. I feel
Yeah.
I feel so many type of ways because I'm about to be a dad right now. So I'm like,
Congrats.
thank you, and I'm like, man, am I how I'm feeling valid or not? So I just wanted to definitely, shine light on you and what you got going on, and definitely tell you that, man, because we are all human, and life happens and stuff.
I don't think people realize that. Like, even though we're black men, like we still got feelings. Like we can't just be this emotionless machine for real. Because it's like, bro, we're humans, and people don't
Yeah.
realize that for real.
Yeah, and then with so much, and then you're black, and then you're black, and then you're a black wrestler too, and in that field where it's within the last couple of years, we seen black guys succeed in professional wrestling and move up the ladder. And so many years it wasn't like that.
At
So for
all.
you sticking, yeah, and for you sticking with that and with your passion, I think that's definitely telling for your future, man, and where you got to go. What keeps you inspired?
Um, I would say just myself, and then when I'm seeing people that I used to train with, like Malik Blades. I used to train with him like back in the day. I still got video of me and him training back at our old facility. So it's just like just seeing him on TV that like motivates me even more that like I should start going hard. Or even when I seeing other people who aren't even on TV just yet, whenever I see them all on YouTube, on like promotions, on posters for different promotions, that just motivate me enough to go out there and try be just like them. Hopefully,
Yeah,
I'm
man.
on my way.
Yeah, you on your way, man. You on your way. Just keep killing it, man. Definitely keep killing it. You spoke about WWE and earlier, and you know how you would want to be a WWE superstar. And right now in WWE, we on the road to WrestleMania. Um, are,
Road.
are you excited for WrestleMania, or are you looking forward to it?
I am. I'm interested in seeing what they're gonna like, do this year. Seeing exactly what outcome's gonna be. Like Bianca Belair against Becky Lynch. My favorite is Becky Lynch, so I'm rooting for Becky and Bianca at the same time, just because Bianca's black and like she was the first one of the first black women who main evented at WrestleMania. Like, come on now, you can't just not talk about that one. So I got to
Yeah,
go for her as well.
yeah. You say you rooting for both of them though. How you
I
how
mean,
you
mainly is Becky though. Like I'm mainly going for Becky, but like Bianca, like small chance just because, like I said, she first black woman.
Okay, okay. I mean, me personally though, this WrestleMania is the big show, and then seeing what happened in the late summer of last year when Becky came back and squashed Bianca in like 20
Hmm.
some seconds, and then they had the rematch at the next pay per view or whatever like that.
Yeah,
I think with this right now, I think Bianca's going all the way in there. And really, to be honest with you, and maybe some people probably laugh at me though, I think she should squash her just like Becky squashed her at SummerSlam. I mean, and dust her hands off. Like,
I respect that.
yeah. I mean, not saying she light work though, but
Yeah.
I thought it would be dope.
Don't get me wrong, they both are good like competitors and they both good champions at the same time. Like Bianca definitely deserves it. Like, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But in this type of aspect, it's just like big time Bex. She's the
Yeah.
GOAT. So she's just running the show for right now. I see her
Yeah.
reign going on to like maybe another year.
For real?
True story.
Oh man, we gotta be. I gotta get ready for that one. Then, it seems though ever since she came back at SummerSlam, she just been. She haven't been herself to me. To
You
me,
don't
it
think so?
seems like no. It seems like she just been feeding off of. Well, I don't want to say. I don't know if that's the right word, but lynching. I guess off of Seth Rollins. I mean, he's the God drip. He's the drip God or whatever like that. And I feel like she just coming out there doing everything he does. Like at first she was just herself. And I understand they're a couple. I just feel like she's not being herself no more. As far as in-ring work, the promo that she had with Lita,
Mhm.
I love that. How she came out there with, like she didn't sleep in like 3 weeks and was
Mhm.
telling the story how Lita, you my favorite wrestler, don't do this and all that. Like
All that.
that was cool. But I just feel like I don't know. Like I'm definitely all the way for Bianca though. That's how I
What?
feel. I mean,
Yeah, I see where you're going, but it seems like that's kind of far fetched as well. Like Becky is her own character. Like she got this GOAT persona, while Seth Rollins got this. He's done with the Messiah, so he's more of like I kind of consider him like as Arthur Fleck, like the newest Joker. That's what he kind of acts like, especially how he be coming out all dancing and everything. He's
mhm.
more Joker style than anything.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. And I'm just saying, like,
Mm,
it wasn't. She didn't start dressing like that until he started coming out like that. So I don't know, but that's that, man.
but
Edge is gonna take on AJ Styles at WrestleMania. How you feel about that match?
I feel like that's kind of drawn out. Like I don't know. I think Ed's just trying to be relevant again. That's really all it is. Like I'm not saying he should hang up the boots, but it's just like he kind of demanded to just be in at WrestleMania. He was just like, I want somebody to fight. I want to make you famous. Let me make somebody famous. Like you're just pushing for it. Like, does anybody really want you here? Not saying like nobody don't want you here, but it's like he pretty much had to find out where he like want to fit in at. Like I guarantee he ain't gonna be like the first match on the card. He's not gonna be the main event. He's gonna be right in the middle. Like, and most people don't really care about that middle card. The only ones that really matter, the only matches that really matter, is that first match and that main event. And the first match is open up the event to set the show up. That main event is like self-explanatory.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, with him coming back and turning heel and saying what he said with AJ Styles, uh, especially when he's talking about I'm gonna make you famous and stuff like that. I thought that line should have been used if he was gonna go after
That's
someone.
Undertaker's line. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, that is though. But I thought
that's classic Undertaker.
exactly, and I feel like if he was gonna say that, he should have went after somebody younger though. I feel like AJ Styles made his name already, so I mean, like, but hey, yeah, cool matchup that they're gonna have right there though. Another matchup at WrestleMania with the big matchup: Roman
Yeah.
Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, the Tribal Chief versus Lesnar, title for title. Who you got going on winning that match right
Reigns been dominating this year. Like he's been dominating for a long time for real. Brock Lesnar pretty much just demanded everything like he always does. Like he literally got the title handed to him again, time and time again. He got the title handed to him.
Both.
So it's like, just to keep the story going, I want to see reign on top. Pretty much hold both titles up. I'm going for Reigns on that one.
Yeah, I'm definitely going with Reigns though. Like you said, he got the title handed to him. The first time at day one, where Roman Reigns was out and they didn't have the one-on-one match.
Exactly. Like
they put him into the whole fatal 5-way. He won that, then turn around and lose it 3 weeks later against Bobby, and then turn around and win it back
win it
at
again.
elimination.
Like what was the point of that?
Yeah, I mean, I understand that he may be a hot commodity right now in WWE with what he's doing right now, but I mean, I didn't understand the whole flip flopping. Maybe to make Bobby Lashley a 2-time WWE champion, maybe so, but I didn't like the flip flopping and
Not at all.
stuff like that, though. But yeah, man, that's that right there. As far as WWE, I'm definitely excited for what's to come in the next coming weeks up with WrestleMania. You spoke on earlier about how you need to get into AEW. Are you a fan of Ring of Honor?
I haven't watched it before. I know a lot of
Okay.
people came from it, like Kevin Owens. I know he's from there.
Yeah, a lot of guys, Kevin Owens, Punk, and Cesaro and such. Yeah, AEW broke the news this past week that they were purchasing Ring of Honor for the amount that's disclosed, but
Hmm.
nonetheless, I think with AEW purchasing Ring of Honor, it really doesn't do them uh, not too much good. With them. With at least Ring of Honor sort of closing its doors because of the pandemic and stuff like that, but
Yeah,
we're gonna see where that goes. We're gonna see where that goes, and it's gonna play out for the rest of the year, and with Revolution coming up. But you
I
guys,
thought Ring
man,
of Honor was part of like WWE.
say that again.
I thought Ring of Honor was with WWE.
Well,
I'm sorry, there was like a lag. I'm sorry.
I thought they were like some partnership, I guess, like close partnership going on, and I guess with
Yeah.
WWE releasing so many people, and then with Tony Khan with the big head he got, and he's trying to sign every wrestler in the
Hmm.
world right now for I don't know, it's something else. I'm just a fan of it. I'm just watching. I
I
don't really
feel
care
you.
what happens though, for real. So I'ma still watch though. But you guys, man, we're gonna move on here on Talk Pro Wrestling. Jay, man, you said you're gonna be wrestling at a big event next month in April. What you got planned and what the future holds for you in pro wrestling?
Well, with the show that's coming up, it is. Hold on, let me get the name right because it is for EGCW out there in Deltona. Let me make sure I got the right name for the event. It's a shame I'm featured there, but I don't even know the name of it. I've been going through a lot of mental things. I'm gonna put it that way. Things just been crazy for me. Either way, they got a big show coming up. It's almost like their WrestleMania. I'm featured there. I don't necessarily know exactly what I'm doing just yet, but the promoter told me he got big plans for me, so I'm definitely looking for that. If if you listeners, if y'all out in the Deltona area, definitely come check me out there. You can also follow me on Instagram. You can see where the event's going to be if you want. And then for the future, um, I'll just let the future just come to me. Hopefully, I'm further into my career, my wrestling career than I am now. Even though like when I started, I was like nothing, and then like I'm a little something. I got my name out there that people know who I am now. So that's one thing I'm looking forward to is like building my brand and my name up even more than I am right now.
Okay, cool. What would you like to accomplish in the wrestling world?
Um, I say really building my brand and building my name up, winning a few championships wherever I can, and pretty much being better than I am now, being a
Oh,
bigger, better me. Like I don't
okay.
want to be the next, like the CM Punk. I want to be the next Randy Orton. I want to be the first, like Jayson Banks. That's my stage name out. Like when I'm do performance, Jayson Banks. That's what
Okay.
I want to be. I want to be the first Jayson Banks. So it's like whenever anybody looks at me, they look like, oh, that's Jayson Banks right there. I know him. That's Mr. Money.
Hey,
That's
that's
me.
what's up, man. You gotta go take it, man. For real. The promoter say he got some big plans for you, man. Go out there and kick the door down and tear it up, tear the house down for real.
Thank
Yo,
you.
this was definitely a dope vibe, man. Just coming on, man, chatting, man, picking your brains on wrestling, man. You have any questions? Anything you like to say before you roll out?
I pretty much want to say thank you for the opportunity and thank you for reaching out to me. We definitely got to do this more. And I promise
Yes.
I'll watch AEW more so we can even talk more about that as well. Cause I be catching little bits and pieces of the shows, but it be kind of confusing me because I'm not too I'm not too deep into it.
Hey, look at.
But I do love Ruby Soho because that's my baby. That's baby right now.
Hey, look at, man. You ain't the only one, man. A lot of people ain't too fond with it. They say it's an overhyped indie show that's on television.
Ooh,
And it's cool to a certain extent. It's a it's a substitute. I'm trying to find the right word, not substitute, but it's an alternate. It's an alternate version for WWE. If you're a diehard fan like myself, now WWE ain't always great. They gone through phases
at
where
all.
it's where it's bad and where it's good and where it's just ugly. And I think with AEW right now, it gave a lot of wrestling fans or the so-called wrestling fans or the diehard wrestling fans that, miss that part of action in WWE. That's where all them
Mhm.
at right now.
Well,
Basically, that's where
let
all
me
them
pick
at.
your brain real quick. Do you think AEW is the new WCW?
Oh, most definitely. That's why I said Tony Khan is getting big headed now that he purchased Ring of Honor. I mean, someone put up a little not a then and now, but a before and after, or sort of who did it better when
Yeah,
Tony Khan purchased Ring of Honor, and then Vince McMahon when he was in the middle of a WCW ring. I believe he was, or no, it was just airing on WCW. But nonetheless, he purchased WCW. I thought that was much better. Ring of Honor, we already knew that was just going out of business because, or at least taking some time off, a hiatus because
yeah,
of the pandemic. And I think with Ring of Honor, not Ring of Honor, but AEW, their problem is much bigger then hey, let's just buy another wrestling promotion. And I understand, you're trying to help other wrestlers out, but they are clearly the new WCW as far as buying up all the talent or signing up all
yeah,
the wrestlers. Where one big face leaves from WWE, hey, we got to go get them too. That's the exact same thing what WCW did. So,
yeah,
the only thing with WCW, I didn't watch it as a kid. So this is this
yeah.
is this is new to me with two wrestling companies sort of back and forth and all the drama. So
Exactly. Like in what was that TNA Impact? They tried, but it's like they failed.
yeah,
They
yeah,
failed.
yeah. I keep up with them every night. I haven't watched the last 3 weeks of Impact, but they doing okay. They are really doing okay. Them better than what they were doing previously in the last couple of years though. But
Where
they
can you
rebuilt
watch it at? Is my question.
Access TV.
What's that?
Access.
I almost don't got that channel.
Yeah, if you probably ain't got the channel. I use Sling. So I use Sling TV streaming live TV.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you got like a cable provider, I'm not too sure what cable provider is on. I definitely know it's not Xfinity, but
Okay.
yeah, they do their thing. They stay afloat and make some buzz of what's going on. Definitely they made buzz surrounding Mickey James going
Yeah.
into the Royal Rumble. So they helped them out big. They helped them out big. But definitely AEW needs some help and guidance and stop signing old wrestlers.
They should do
That's
an invasion angle again, in my opinion.
that's what that's sort of what Impact is doing at the moment. Sort of with
Really.
Ring of Honor. They had some of the Ring of Honor guys who supposed to be in. Well, they wouldn't. Yeah, they were, but look at I really don't even know how this all will play out, because I think Nick Kong is supposed to be working. I'm not too sure if he's legit working with WWE. And then you got Tony Khan. So I mean, I feel like all of this could just be a big work, a big work for everyone. So hey, that's that. That's that. But yeah, man, Jay, man, I appreciate you joining me here on the 1130 podcast. Man. For real. Any shout outs to especially you like to say?
Well, definitely shout out to you, my dear sir. Thank you for having me on the 1130 podcast, talking pro wrestling. Thank you so much. You the GOAT, you the best, sir. I definitely want to be on here more. And I definitely got a shout out to Helen again. Definitely send a shout out to her podcast, Honestly Helen. Hopefully I'll be on her podcast one more time. And if anybody wants to follow me on social media, my Instagram is LilJ12594. I go by Jayson Banks. You might see it on there. It says Jayson Banks. That's at LilJ12594. Once again, I appreciate you, sir.
Man, anytime. Like I said, man, I love bringing independent wrestlers, referees on, man, or just got a big mindset for wrestling, just pick their brain, man. So it was definitely an honor and a definitely dope time chatting with you, my guys. So keep killing it with whatever you continue to do in the wrestling world. You're welcome here anytime. Once again, shout out to Helen from the Honestly Helen podcast. And yo, Jay, thank you once again for joining me this week here on Talk Pro Wrestling.
Thank you, sir.
Everyone has something to say, a story to tell. We make it easy to share yours. So let's talk.
Regardless of your podcast setup, hit record. And from there, whether your podcast reaches 10 people or 10 million, we can help you get heard wherever listeners are.
And who knows, maybe even quit your day job.
But no matter who hears you, it's about connecting and sharing something from your perspective.
It's about having a voice and using it without anything standing in your way. Say it all with Anchor.
Yo, we back here on the podcast. Jay, I appreciate you stopping by here on the show this week. It was a really awesome time having you on, picking your brain, all things wrestling, chatting with you on getting into the business, being a big wrestling fan, all that, man. So that was really dope. You know you're welcome here anytime. And for everyone who's watching and listening, the links will be down below to my man Jay Instagram account. So you guys can go follow him and see where he gonna be at a town near you to see if you can see him do some drop kicks or suplexes, man. For real. Man, it was a really awesome show. But you guys, man, we're gonna move on here on the podcast. As I said earlier, AEW Revolution is coming up this Sunday. Yes, this Sunday. And we seen Dynamite this past week. And it was a go-home show, man. The go-home show started off with a huge news, as I was just chatting with my guy Jay not too long ago, but I feel like this move we're gonna see how good or bad does this hurt AEW. With AEW dealing with or trying to be diversity or have diversity within his locker room and on TV, with AEW struggling with some of the mid-carder guys that you have not seen on in a long time. It just seems though, man, they just moving a little too fast. Not a little bit, they moving too fast. So, but hey, Tony Khan is the new owner of Ring of Honor, and I've seen a lot of guys who work for Ring of Honor going after Tony Khan on Twitter, like, hold up, bro, you got cut the check now. Like, for real, we ain't been working. Ring of Honor doors is closed. So, yo, man, like, I want to know all you guys' thoughts. Leave your comments below. Do you feel like this move from AEW's owner Tony Khan buying Ring of Honor is a good move or a bad move? But let me know. Leave your comments down below. But like I said, AEW had a decent show. They started off with 2 Ring of Honor originals with Christopher Danielson and Bryan Danielson going head to head. An incredible matchup that was. Haven't seen Christopher Danielson Christopher Danielson. I said that right. We haven't seen him on AEW in some time. So what a matchup to start the show. But man, the show will go on. We've seen the CM Punk come out there, cut his promo, and about how he's trying to figure out, is he the bad guy or is he the good guy? From what MJF came out and said last week, and that passionate promo that he pulled that made everyone feel for MJF. But he said, boy, I'm the devil. Like he's disguised, made you feel some type of way. But MJF is going to take on CM Punk in a dog collar matchup this Sunday. I am going with MJF. After the promo he pulled 2 weeks ago, in spite of everything CM Punk has done or did by leaving wrestling, and what MJF said last week, he's doing everything in spite of him. So I'm going with MJF over CM Punk. We got Britt Baker taking on Thunder Rosa. Big fan of Thunder Rosa, but I got Britt Baker retaining her AEW Women's Championship. The AEW's Championship, we got Hangman Adam Page defending against Adam Cole, baby. I don't know. I don't think this is Hangman Adam Page's last title defense. So I gotta see. I see him retaining the AEW World Championship. The AEW Tag Team Championships are on the line. I forgot who's the third team in this. The Young Bucks just won their matchup on Dynamite this past Wednesday, and then the champs, Jurassic Express, are in this matchup. I'm going with Jurassic Express. I can see them retaining their championship. Man, it's a whole bunch of matches going down at Revolution this Sunday. Let me know who you guys are picking. I'm going to let you know who I'm going to pick. So I'm going to be watching it, chatting along with everyone else. And The Undertaker, you guys. The Undertaker is going into the WWE Hall of Fame this year. It was reported on the Pat McAfee show this yesterday, that Mr. McMahon would induct him. Now, the only other person that has been inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame by Mr. McMahon has been Stone Cold Steve Austin. So, man, like, who better else to induct The Undertaker? Just as well as Stone Cold has made big contributes to the WWE as well as The Undertaker. We all know what the war between WCW and WWF and how the Undertaker didn't leave. He didn't leave at all. They offered him a whole lot of money to go, but he stayed. He stayed. So he a real one. So definitely shout out to The Undertaker that's going into the Hall of Fame this year, man. That's definitely dope. Definitely dope, you guys. And also Edge, man. Edge on Monday Night Raw. Man, he wants some. He wanted to smoke, man. Not with Angelo Dawkins or Montez Ford, but he wanted to smoke with AJ Styles. He called out AJ Styles, or well, he called out a challenge, and AJ Styles has taken the challenge and has accepted it. So it's going to be AJ Styles versus Edge at WrestleMania. What was you guys' thoughts on Edge turning heel and giving AJ Styles two concertos though? Like, man, I mean, who's gonna play the heel in this? AJ? Like, no. Edge is the ultimate opportunist, so he needed this all the way. But like I was saying with Jay earlier, the line that he pulled was like, "Man, I'm gonna make somebody famous, bro." Like AJ is kind of famous in a way, bro. Like this is 7 WrestleMania, and like if you want to talk about the Undertaker, made him famous what 2 years ago, like when he had the graveyard matchup that made AJ Styles famous, and I think that was the Undertaker's last matchup. So you know, if he was gonna say that, it could have been someone younger, but hey, AJ Styles, we're gonna see what it do, man. But I'm all excited for it. I'm all excited for it. SmackDown is tonight. We're gonna see what the tribal chief gotta say. You know, if he got something to say after last week's, man. Everybody work for me now. Man, that's the tribal chief, man. He's doing his thing. Also a live rampage is going down tonight, man. There's a whole bunch of things going down, you guys, man. And we are on the road to WrestleMania. Yo, fasten your seatbelts, man. It is going to be a ride for real. Yo, this was enough for me this week episode, man. Yo, go check out Off the Top Roads podcast. Go catch up on his new episodes. And also, shout out to my guy, Warren Marlowe of the Buzzing with Marlowe podcast. Check him out. Shout out to the Dirty Hills, Clock Street Wrestling, the infamous Mini Hats podcast. Shout out to my guy, RG, who was on the main show this past week. Shout out to Clock Street Wrestling, everybody, all the wrestling podcasts, man. Keep doing your thing, man, and keep grinding, man. For real, it's really dope. This was a dope episode here. I'm about to head on out of here. Once again, shout out to Jay for stopping past on the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling this week. And shout out to Helen for making this dope interview happen, man. For real. But before I go, you know what time it is. Don't forget to follow the 1130 podcast on all social media platforms. Follow me on Twitter at the 1130 podcast. Like the 1130 podcast on Facebook. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to the 1130 podcast on YouTube. Yes, man, for real. And also tune in this Wednesday for all new episode of the 1130 podcast, streaming on EB Radio and YouTube. Yes, man, it's been a great one. It's been a dope one, man, for real. Man, what a time to be a wrestler. So yeah, let me know you guys' thoughts, man. Will this move benefit or hurt AEW in the long run? Should Tony Khan purchase a Ring of Honor? You know, we gonna find out. We are definitely going to find out there. But man, I'm out of here, man. Everyone stay blessed, stay safe, give all the glory to God. I'll see you guys next Friday here on Talk Pro Wrestling. And yo, it's your man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels, and I'm out.